how much can someone earn from owning their own pharmacy? I've never really thought of setting up a pharmacy to make money. Like, I've never heard of someone actually doing that and making a lot of money. What kind of numbers are we talking?
It's basically, you can easily get about 15-20k profit just for yourself, and that's with all the expenses gone, like paying the wholesalers, paying your staff members, paying taxes, etc. That's what's left every month. And then it's very clever
Every
because
month?
yeah, exactly, yeah.
I thought you meant a month, so 20 to 50 grand per month.
Exactly. And then if you think about it, if you keep saving all that money up, you can then essentially use that money to invest in properties or invest into other business, and that's how really you generate your profit. So it's all about saving money and not spending it. But obviously it's good to have a bit of both. So, keeping a bit of money aside to do your shopping or anything, your travels, and then obviously using that remaining money to do your investments.
Wow, jeez. Well, you really got your head screwed on straight. 50 grand.
But Kevin, with pharmacy, the great thing is people don't realize you can make a lot of business with pharmacy because there's so much opportunity, especially like it's healthcare professional, and everyone needs healthcare advice. It's something on a daily basis. It's like food, like Tesco's, for example. Everyone needs food to live, and the same thing applies to pharmacy. Like people need medications or healthy lifestyle products to be able to maintain their energy, to be able to maintain, their well-being. So it's more like food. It's like, think of it as a food kind of store. It's something that people need on a daily basis. So that's a good thing, to be honest with you. But like I said, it's all to do with networking and knowing doctors around your area.
And can someone set up a pharmacy without being trained? And can someone just start a pharmacy and hire pharmacists, or are there some kind of regulations against that?
No, there's basically, from my own opinion, from my own understanding, sorry, I think anyone can buy a pharmacy, but I feel like it's not a good idea if you're not a pharmacist. I feel like it should be a pharmacist that should buy a pharmacy, because they would have the knowledge, the experience, all the legal regulation. They would know everything, because obviously we've studied all of that at university. So I feel like it's good to have someone who's experienced in their field, because if you're just for example, if you're a person who did, for example, let's say who's an accountant who has no field in the healthcare professional, I feel like personally it's not a good option to do pharmacy, because you won't have all that technical understanding that goes on around pharmacy. So I just feel like it's best to know someone, or best for someone who's got that level of knowledge in their field, basically, if that makes sense.
I got it. So just to break down the numbers a little bit more, I hope again you don't mind me asking this. So looking at like a 20 to 50 grand kind of your monthly take, how is that broken down exactly over your kind of prescriptions and consultation and other services? How are those numbers broken down?
No, so basically this is the profit, but basically with everything, with like, for example, the payment of prescriptions and everything we do, we technically get about let's say 90,000 pound a month, 90 to 100, depending on the season. And
is that with the 2 pharmacies or one?
Just one pharmacy.
That's one pharmacy.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm thinking. But that amount that you get in, you have to pay your staff, you have to pay for taxes, you have to pay the wholesale. And that's what's remaining, about 20k a month. Like, that's what's remaining for you. But once you make all that expenses, that's what's left.
That is incredible.
But again, Kevin, you have to take into account, it depends on the season and when it is. Like, for example, now, the one in Harley Street is not doing so well at the moment, just because there's not enough tourists at the moment. Because in that area, there's a lot of tourism and a lot of like foreigners that visit doctors. But because of this whole bloody pandemic, it's gone a bit down. And even the doctors who I've spoken to, they're not very busy in their practice, because there's not enough foreigners coming to visit London at the moment.
Yeah,
so it's quiet at the moment.
So steps then to earn this kind of money, starting a pharmacy. First of all, go off and get your pharmacy degree. Do the pharmacy course.
And bloody hell, it was so hard to do that degree. Honestly, it was like a nightmare. But finally, I made it.
Get that degree, start a pharmacy, and then it's networking, local doctors, create those partnerships.
Trust me, Kevin, it's not easy to form partnerships and links, because some doctors are really rude and arrogant, and I'm like, boy, just like calm down. You don't need to be rude. We're all in this together. But some doctors, if you just encounter them, Kevin, they're so arrogant. Like they're so rude. Like obviously, I respect what they've gone through and what they know. But in terms of their attitude, boy, you need some attitude adjustments.